You ever wonder why the more you chase her, the faster she pulls away? Why the more you prove you're good enough, the less she respects you? What if the real reason isn't about her at all? What if it's about you? Because here's the hard truth. Real men don't chase. They never did. They build, they lead, they walk when it's time to walk. And they do it without a word, because a man with value doesn't need to convince anyone to stay. Comment, I choose strength. And if that phrase hits something inside you, keep listening. Because this might just change your entire life. There's a reason you clicked this. You've had enough of the lies. The world has taught men to chase, to beg, to prove. Movies, songs, society. They all say the same thing. If she pulls away, chase harder, love louder, try more. And yet, every time you do, you feel smaller, more lost, more invisible. You start thinking, am I not enough? And that single question, it haunts men. It's been haunting you. And I want to tell you right now, it ends here. You don't need another lecture. You need clarity, a real guide, with straight answers, with actions that actually work. Something built for men, by men who've been there and risen from it. That's what the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook is. It's the most brutally clear, step-by-step guide on mastering your value, power, and freedom in relationships. It's direct, no guesswork. Every page pulls you deeper into your own strength. Every insight rebuilds the man you're meant to be. It's timeless, sharply written, built for real transformation. It's finally available to the public, but only for a limited time, to preserve its value. So if you're ready for more than talk, if you're ready to live like a man who commands respect, this is your moment. Click the link in the comments and completely transform your life and relationships. There's a different path, a stronger one, a stoic path forged in silence, purpose, and internal power. This is for men who are done being confused and ready to start leading. Now, let's break this down. Number 1, he values his energy. You feel it, don't you? That slow erosion every time you give your energy to someone who doesn't appreciate it. Every time you explain yourself to a woman who already decided you weren't enough. Every time you chase the text that never comes, the call that never rings, the affection that always seems to hover just out of reach like a cruel joke. You weren't made for this kind of life. Deep down, you know that. You weren't made to serve as someone's emotional entertainment, waiting in the background while she decides whether or not you're worthy. You were made to move, to create, to lead, to build. But society told you that love is about proving yourself, and so you became a performer in your own life, dancing for attention that's not even real, working overtime for a woman who's never lifted a finger for you. And in that cycle, you've lost the most sacred thing you have, your energy. Every time you text first, chase harder, beg louder, try to make her see the value you know is inside you, you're not just giving energy, you're giving away your soul. That's why you feel hollow when she leaves. Not because she took anything, but because you gave it all. And she knew it. She knew she didn't have to earn you, she just had to exist. And you'd hand over your time, your focus, your dignity, and now you're angry. Not at her, not really. You're angry at yourself, because deep down, you knew she didn't see you. You knew she didn't respect you, but you stayed, you gave, you hoped. You lied to yourself because you didn't want to be alone. But alone isn't what breaks men. Giving energy to the wrong place is. The man who values his energy doesn't chase what depletes him. He moves towards what feeds him, his mind, his body, his purpose. He trains, he reads, he works. He sets boundaries so sharp they draw blood, and if someone doesn't honor them, he walks without a single word. Because his time is not a toy, his presence is not a prize, He's done trying to convince people of what they should have seen the moment he entered the room. He understands this. Energy spent begging for love will never return as strength. Energy spent building himself becomes power. Power that cannot be ignored. Power that rewrites his story. So from now on, every time you feel the urge to reach out, to explain, to prove, stop, breathe, and ask, is this building me, or is this draining me? If it's draining you, walk. Go to the gym, read that book, write that plan, fix your posture, eat clean, sleep early. Become the man who doesn't need to ask for attention because he commands it simply by existing. And when she realizes what she lost, when she finally notices your absence like a hole in her reality, she'll reach out. But by then, you won't care, not because you're bitter, but because you'll be too focused, too strong, too full to need someone who once saw you as an option. That's the price of value. It's only given to those who demand it by how they live. From this moment forward, live in a way that shows the world, my energy is not for sale. Number 2, he doesn't argue with disrespect. Disrespect doesn't always come in shouting matches or cruel insults. Sometimes it comes in quiet dismissals, in delayed responses, in sarcastic tones disguised as jokes, in "you're too sensitive when you dare speak truth," in rolled eyes, in last-minute cancellations that come with no apology, in her phone always being more important than your presence, in her comparing you to other men just to make you feel small, in every time she crosses a boundary you set and then blames you for reacting. And you know what's worse than that disrespect? The fact that you tolerated it, that you tried to reason with it, that you stayed up thinking of the perfect message to send, the right words to make her understand your heart, the most mature way to explain that you're hurting and you deserve better. But the truth is, you never had to explain that to someone who respected you. The fact that you had to spell it out already meant she didn't see you. And still, you argued. Not because you believed you could win, but because you were desperate not to be abandoned. You argued because part of you thought that if you just said it right, she'd suddenly transform into someone who cared. But real men don't argue with disrespect. They don't turn their pain into lectures hoping for conversion. They turn their pain into standards, and those standards become walls that only the worthy can pass through. A man who knows his worth does not debate it. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't fight to be seen. He doesn't shrink just to fit into someone else's comfort zone. He sees the signs once, twice if he's generous, and by the third time, he's already moving. Not because he's trying to make a point, but because there's nothing left to say. The moment you start arguing for basic respect is the moment you admit to yourself that you're still waiting for permission to matter. And you were never made to beg for permission. You were made to walk with purpose. She disrespects you once. That's information. Twice. That's confirmation. The third time? That's graduation. Because now you know, this is not where kings stay. This is not where warriors waste their breath. You walk, not to hurt her, but to protect the man you're still becoming. Because every time you allow disrespect, you teach her it's acceptable. And every time you explain your value, you tell her it's still up for discussion. But the man who knows what he brings to the table, he doesn't need to raise his voice. His life speaks, his growth speaks, his absence speaks. You don't have to hurt her to prove your strength. You just have to stop being where you're not honored. That's the difference between the man who wins and the man who repeats the same cycle until he forgets who he is. From now on, your time is earned. Your presence is a privilege, and anyone who plays with your value loses access to it. That's how men move when they've stopped arguing with disrespect and started aligning with destiny. Number 3, he walks without drama. You know the most haunting sound in a woman's world. Not a scream, not an insult, not some petty final message thrown at her in the middle of a fight. It's the sound of the door closing behind a man who didn't flinch, a man who didn't need to slam it, didn't need to explain, didn't leave a breadcrumb trail hoping she might come running, just left and never looked back, because he had seen enough. He had measured the weight of his dignity against the value of her attention and found it wasn't worth the cost. There's a kind of pain you only learn when you stay somewhere too long, when you linger in a situation that chips away at your soul just because you're afraid of what it means to be alone. But alone is not your enemy. Indecision is. And the man who finally makes the choice to walk, without anger, without theatrics, without needing anyone to clap for his self-respect, that man unlocks something most never will. There's no greater insult to a woman who played games than your calm exit. Because she expected rage, she expected pleading, she expected another round of emotional ping-pong where she gets to win again. What she didn't expect was to look up one day and realize that the man who used to be always available isn't there anymore. And not just physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. Gone. Not out of hate, out of honor. Because he finally woke up and saw the pattern for what it was. Manipulation dressed as affection, chaos disguised as passion, power plays masked as emotional needs. He didn't leave to teach her a lesson. He left because he finally learned his. You don't fix toxic dynamics with more communication. You fix them by removing yourself from them completely. You walk because arguing is no longer necessary. Proving is no longer necessary. Hoping is no longer necessary. You finally accept that the version of her you were in love with only existed in your mind, a story you told yourself to justify staying, while everything in your gut screamed otherwise. And when you walk, truly walk, you don't leave a key under the mat. You don't peek at her social media. You don't stalk her stories or count the days until she reaches out, because you already know anything she brings back to you now is too little, too late. You've grown beyond it. A man walking without drama is a man who's faced himself and found more value in his peace than in her potential. The truth is, you never had to convince her. She saw your worth. She just hoped you didn't, because as long as you doubted yourself, she could stay in control. But when you walk without the need for her reaction, that control dies. You reclaim it. You carry it into your next chapter. And everything changes. You start attracting people who match your clarity, situations that reward your decisiveness, environments that mirror your discipline. And the boy you used to be, the one who waited, hoped, begged, he disappears too, replaced by someone sharper, stronger, unshakable. So from this moment forward, you never again beg to be understood. You never again ask to be chosen. You choose yourself. And you walk, not to make noise, but to make space for the life you were supposed to be living before you lost yourself in someone who never deserved to hold you. Number 4. He knows rejection isn't personal. There's a kind of freedom that only comes after she walks away and you realize the sky didn't fall, the ground didn't open, and your heart, though cracked, kept beating, not because it didn't hurt, but because some part of you knew deep down that losing her might be the first real step to finding yourself. And that right there, that moment when the weight lifts, not because she came back, but because you finally stopped wishing she would. That's the rebirth. That's where boys end and men begin. See, most men have been trained to see rejection as a death sentence. That if she leaves, it means you failed. You weren't man enough, tall enough, funny enough, rich enough. You weren't enough. But that's not truth. That's propaganda. The truth is, rejection is a gift. It is the universe's most brutal and honest filter. It removes what isn't aligned, so you can stop wasting your power on people who were never meant to walk with you. And let's be honest, You knew she wasn't fully in. You saw the red flags. You felt the lukewarm energy. You heard the way she laughed harder with other men than she did with you. You watched her slowly start pulling away, testing your boundaries, seeing how much she could get away with while you still stayed. But you kept justifying it, making excuses, telling yourself she just needed time, or patience, or reassurance. But what she needed was something you should have never offered, your power handed to her on a plate, asking her to tell you what it was worth. And when she finally rejected you, it stung. Of course it did. But it also revealed the truth, that you had placed your identity in the hands of someone who didn't even know what she wanted. How can someone who's lost define your value? She can't. So you stop making her taste in men the verdict on your character. You stop letting one woman's confusion dictate your clarity. Because the second you believe her leaving means you're broken, is the second you forget who you are. You're not broken. You were brave enough to show up, to try, to care, and she didn't see it. That's not on you. That's her blindness, her chaos, her emotional immaturity. You don't chase after that. You bless it, release it, and use every ounce of that rejection as rocket fuel to become someone so full of direction, so locked in, so immovable, that no one ever gets that kind of access again without proving they can hold it. Real men don't avoid rejection. They welcome it. Because every rejection is a door that leads to a mirror, and in that reflection, they see where they're giving too much, where they're accepting too little, where they're still trying to earn love through suffering. That stops now. You don't suffer to be loved. You build, you sharpen, you rise, and from that higher place, you choose again, with eyes that see clearer, with a heart that demands more, and with a spine that doesn't bend just to avoid being alone. Because you've learned, being alone isn't the enemy. Being in the wrong relationship is. And you'll never trade peace for presence again. You've outgrown the need to be wanted. You've stepped into the power of being worthy, regardless of who sees it. From now on, rejection doesn't define you. It refines you. It doesn't mean you weren't enough. It means the situation wasn't. And you're just getting started. Number 5. He faces himself. You know the hardest truth a man will ever confront? It's not that she left. It's not that she chose someone else. It's not that he got replaced, disrespected, discarded, or forgotten. No, the hardest truth, the one that hits like a punch to the gut when the noise fades, is this: she didn't break you. You were already broken. She just revealed the cracks. And you ignored them. You covered them with affection. You drowned them in her attention. You tried to patch them up with validation, intimacy, the illusion of connection, because it was easier to chase her than to sit alone with yourself and ask the question that every man secretly fears. Who am I when no one is watching? That's the question that burns. That's the one that strips everything down. No distractions, no fantasies, no distractions from facing the core. You became addicted to her presence because it kept you from facing your own absence. The parts of yourself you abandoned, the goals you never pursued, the discipline you traded for comfort, the pain you refused to process, the fear that maybe, just maybe, you're not the man you thought you were. But here's the truth most men will never tell you. We all have that moment. The night she doesn't answer. The day she's laughing with someone else. The morning you wake up and realize the man staring back in the mirror is a stranger to your own standards. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can keep running, from gym to girl, from distraction to dopamine, from fix to fantasy. Or you can stop, sit in it, let it hurt, let it burn, let it bleed out all the lies you told yourself about who you needed to be to earn love. Because real men don't avoid pain. They harness it, they sharpen it, they turn it into fuel, and they use it to rebuild, not for her, not to be picked, not to be noticed, but because they've seen what happens when you neglect yourself for too long. They've lived the hell of losing themselves in a relationship that was supposed to complete them. They've felt the emptiness that no woman, no matter how beautiful or attentive, could ever fill. And they finally decide, enough. From now on, no more running, no more chasing, no more hiding behind charm or achievements. It's time to face the man beneath the mask, the fears, the trauma, the laziness, the broken promises to yourself, the voice in your head that says, I'll start tomorrow, while you die slowly in quiet defeat. Because facing yourself doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. It makes you clear. It makes you dangerous, not to others, but to every lie you used to live under. When you face yourself, really face yourself, you become immune to manipulation. You see through the games. You walk away not to prove anything, but because there's nothing left to explain. You build a life where peace is standard and chaos gets no invitation. You create discipline so intense that no woman can pull you off path. You craft standards so sacred they become your compass, and you protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. And as you evolve, something incredible happens. You stop fearing loneliness, because now your own company feeds you. You stop seeking love from others, because now you love the man you're becoming. And when she comes back, or someone new appears, you don't evaluate based on attraction alone. You ask, does this relationship align with the man I've worked to become? And if the answer is no, you don't hesitate. You move, because you've already faced the hardest person you'll ever meet, yourself. And once you win that battle, everything else is easy. Number 6, he lives with purpose. You want to know why most men are lost? It's not because they're weak. It's not because they're lazy. It's because they've been fed a lie since they were boys, that their value comes from who loves them, not what they build. That their worth is measured by how many women want them, not by the legacy they leave behind. And so they spend their best years chasing attention, approval, and validation, not realizing that every second spent trying to be wanted is a second stolen from their potential. You weren't built for comfort. You weren't made to drift. You were designed to conquer, to create, to push limits, to sacrifice now for greatness later, to plant seeds that grow into forests. But you traded that. You let go of the grind, the vision, the mission. You let go of the war you were born to win because she smiled at you. And now you wonder why you feel so hollow, so used, so disposable. It's not because you weren't loved. It's because you abandoned the one thing that makes a man unstoppable, his purpose. See, when a man has purpose, he becomes magnetic. His focus is razor sharp. His presence is heavy. He walks into a room and doesn't need to say a word. People feel it, because purpose changes your posture. It changes how you speak, how you move, how you breathe. It makes you dangerous to everyone still living in distraction. And the truth is, most people fear a man on purpose, because he can't be controlled. He can't be manipulated. He can't be lured into temporary pleasure because he's too loyal to the long game. The man with purpose doesn't chase women. They chase him, not because he's trying to be attractive, but because his life is attractive. His mission is alive. His discipline is unshakable. He's not waiting for the weekend to come alive. He's already on fire every morning. While others are scrolling, he's building. While others are sleeping in, he's sweating. While others are gossiping, he's grinding. And when the world tells him to slow down, to relax, to be more realistic, he nods and keeps going. Because purpose doesn't care about approval. It cares about completion, about results, about becoming a man who doesn't need permission to live full out. So how do you get there? You stop lying to yourself. You stop saying you're trying when you know you're not. You stop putting off your goals for women who won't even remember your name in a year. You make a decision. Today is the day I take my life back. And then you execute. You wake up early. You build your body. You master a skill. You start that business. You write that plan. You eliminate distractions. You leave every environment that poisons your clarity. You stop making excuses and start making moves. Because you've already wasted enough time. You already know what regret feels like. Now it's time to feel pride. The kind of pride that doesn't come from being wanted, but from winning. From knowing that if everyone walked away tomorrow, you'd still be walking towards something that matters. That's what separates the men who rise from the men who remain. Purpose. Relentless, unapologetic, non-negotiable purpose. From now on, you don't let anyone or anything steal that. Not comfort, not fear, not some temporary high that leaves you empty the next day. You protect your path like your life depends on it, because it does. And once you taste what it feels like to wake up driven, focused, locked in, you'll never go back. You won't need anyone to complete you. You won't need to be chosen. You will choose. And that kind of man, he doesn't just live, he leads, he conquers. He becomes the one thing the world can't ignore, a man on purpose. Number 7. He commands respect. You know what separates a man who is noticed from a man who is remembered? It's not charm, it's not wealth, and it's definitely not how hard he tries to win her approval. It's how deeply he's rooted in who he is, with or without her. Because there's a different kind of gravity in a man who no longer seeks to be liked. A man who's not moved by who stays or who leaves. A man who doesn't bend when he's questioned, doesn't shrink when he's challenged, and doesn't explain when he's already decided. Respect isn't asked for, it's embodied. And a man who commands it doesn't announce his worth. He lives it so loudly it's undeniable. But here's the brutal truth most won't admit. If she doesn't respect you, she will slowly begin to resent you. And if she resents you, she will test you. She'll test how far she can push before you break, how many boundaries she can cross before you speak, how little she can offer before you finally realize she's never truly been with you, only around you. And most men fail these tests, not because they're bad, but because they've been conditioned to believe that love means pleasing, sacrificing, enduring. That if she's unhappy, it's your job to fix it, even if it means erasing pieces of yourself, one compromise at a time. But respect doesn't live in sacrifice without standards. It lives in conviction, the kind of conviction that says, this is who I am, and anything that requires me to betray that is already beneath me. That kind of man, he terrifies women who are used to control, because he doesn't argue, he doesn't chase, he doesn't ask again. He gives you one opportunity to align with his values, and if you miss it, he disappears from your world, like he was never there. Not as punishment, as a principle. And the truth is, she will respect the man who walks away more than the one who stayed begging for scraps. Because deep down, every woman knows the man who is hard to lose is the man she never forgets. Not because he begged for love, but because he showed her what it looked like when a man refuses to lose himself to keep someone else. And it's not about being cold. It's about being clear. It's about building a life so solid, so sharp, so refined, that anyone who comes near you either levels up or gets left behind. The man who commands respect doesn't speak often, but when he does, it cuts through noise. He doesn't try to impress. He impresses by being unmoved, by being disciplined when others are distracted, by being loyal to his purpose, even if it means walking alone. That kind of man is rare. That kind of man doesn't chase women. He attracts alignment. He doesn't ask, how do I keep her? He asks, does this relationship reflect who I'm becoming? And if the answer is no, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't mourn what could have been, because he's already focused on what will be. And here's the irony. The man who commands respect may not always be loved first, but he's always remembered last. Because when he's gone, the void is unfillable. Not because he was loud, but because his presence carried weight. That's the prize of commanding respect. Not just admiration, but remembrance. And in a world where most men are forgotten, be the man she'll never be able to forget. Not because of what you said, but because of how you lived. Number 8. The prize of chasing. The price of chasing might be obvious, but the prize, that's what no one talks about. Because the prize isn't love. It's humiliation. The prize is watching her give everything you begged for to a man who didn't even ask. It's waking up to the realization that your effort didn't earn you devotion. It bought you disrespect. It's the cold sting of seeing that the more you proved yourself, the more invisible you became. Because chasing doesn't build attraction, it buries it. It tells her you've got nothing better to do than orbit her world, hoping she throws you a breadcrumb of attention. And you may think you're showing commitment, but what she sees is a man who's lost himself. A man who has abandoned his purpose, his power, and his identity for a shot at being chosen. And once she senses that, it's over. Not because she's cruel, but because biologically, psychologically, emotionally, women cannot respect what they do not admire. And no woman admires a man who's forgotten his worth. The more you chase, the more she tests. The more you bend, the more she breaks boundaries. The more you try to win her, the more you lose yourself. And that's the prize. Not a relationship, not intimacy, not love. The prize is being tolerated, not treasured. It's the slow death of your self-esteem, one unanswered message at a time. It's becoming her backup plan, her emotional pillow, her attention fix when the guy she actually wants isn't around. And deep down, you feel it. You feel the shift. The way she used to light up when you texted, now it's obligation. The way your compliments once made her glow, now they fall flat. Because what was once power has become desperation, and no one honors desperation. It's not your strength she sees anymore, it's your hunger, and hunger repels. Because love, real love, is never earned through pursuit. It's revealed through presence, through certainty, through the kind of energy that says, I'm whole with or without you. That kind of energy can't be faked. It has to be lived. And here's the harsh truth. If she pulls away every time you stop chasing, she was never choosing you. She was just enjoying the chase. She was addicted to the control, the attention, the high of knowing someone would compromise themselves to make her feel wanted. And when the chase ends, so does her interest. Not because you changed, but because the game stopped. But you're not here to play games. You're here to build a life, a legacy, a level of self-respect so fierce that you never again lower your standards just to feel needed. The prize of chasing is not a happy ending. It's burnout. It's regret. It's the haunting realization that the woman you thought you loved was just a mirror reflecting your own lack of identity. And when you finally stop chasing, not to manipulate her, but because you finally see yourself clearly, something radical happens. You stop bleeding. You stop explaining. You stop waiting. You become so focused on who you're becoming that nothing, no woman, no memory, no fantasy, can derail you. You become a man that women don't just want, they remember. Because you didn't win her by chasing, you won your life back by stopping. And in that moment you realize the real prize was never her. It was who you had to become to stop chasing. That man, he's rare, he's powerful, and he never begs for love. He commands it, by the way he lives. If you've made it this far, then deep down you already know, this isn't just a video. It's a wake-up call, a challenge, a line in the sand between the man you've been and the man you're about to become. No more waiting to be chosen. No more chasing people who love the idea of you but can't handle your truth. This is where you reclaim every ounce of your power and build a life no one can play with. And if that stirred something in your soul, if you're tired of losing years to women who don't respect your value, then the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men is your next step. Not because it'll make her stay, but because it will show you how to become the man who never needs to beg anyone to. It's raw, it's direct, it's everything you were never told about how to move, lead, and live in this world as a man who owns his time, his mind, and his worth. It's linked in the comments, but it won't be available for long, because not everyone is ready to carry this level of truth. And if you are, then comment the Stoic Blueprint below, so I know you're one of the rare few who's ready to break free and rewrite your story. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, help more men escape the trap, find this truth, and save themselves from years of regret.